Greetings, wonderful viewers. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make these lips, Maggie's lips. Let's see, can we get a nice shot here? Now, but first I want to share with you the story about how I even started making my dolls. All of my dolls have like these kind of big lips. When I was growing up, my mother used to say, oh, you don't want to have big lips because I think they were called like soup coolers. So sometimes my mother would say, okay, you need to hold your mouth in like this. We couldn't play in the sun, and we were pretty much taught to hate our African American features and being dark. And so I think a part of me making dolls as an adult was a way to, it was a part of my journey for self-acceptance and self-love. And it just seems to me like, and when I was a child growing up, like big lips were never celebrated or thought they were never thought to be a big deal until they were on Angelina Jolie, or the big butt was not a big deal until it was, to Kim Kardashian or Jennifer Lopez, whereas these are features that African Americans have had for a very long time and nobody cared. So you kind of grew up like hating yourself a little bit, not, in terms of like, maybe with relationships, but just in the general, media, like not seeing who you are, especially as an African American woman, those features being cherished or celebrated or thought of as attractive if they were on you. So when I made my dolls, it was kind of my growing up and my journey to self-love and self-acceptance, and that's really the story behind my dolls' lips and me making them. So when I would look at other people's dolls, I just thought I'm not going to do that, because I'm not going to make my doll's lips have to stand out. But one of the things in general is I like big features. I like big ears, I like big noses, I like big lips, I like big thighs and legs, because I have big thighs and I have big legs, and I feel like I spent my whole life trying to love something that was not a reflection of my culture, my heritage, and who I am as a woman. So in making my dolls reflect this acceptance, this journey of self-love and where I've come in this journey. So with Maggie's lips, it really is a little bit of a process, and I'm going to tell you that you need to really be comfortable with things not being perfect. So this is the first pair that I made, and I put some Mod Podge over it, and it made the outside lips too dark for me. So I decided not to use these. You can use, this is made from just regular felt, which I thought they were okay because it's a nice contrast. A corduroy material to me make really nice lips, because you know how our lips naturally have lines in them. And then, I love these. Are perfection to me. These, to me, okay? Even if you don't like them, I love them. These are like perfection. So these are these are Maggie's lips. So when you make the lips, again, I'm going to suggest that you make several pair, really honestly. Make several pair, and I mixed a variety of pink and brown tan type colors together to get the middle. Like these are, I think I showed them in the video, and I just kept mixing until it felt right to me. And one thing I'm going to tell you to do also is to be bold. When you're making the lips for your doll, it may feel weird. And when I say weird, I mean like you're thinking like, this is not going to be okay. But for some reason, to me, your doll will come together and look the way she wants to look. It's a two-way relationship. So be bold, be confident when you're making the lips. I hope you enjoy this tutorial, and I hope that you love yourself too, that you love all of your quirks and all of your flaws, or not perceived flaws, because we're all perfect in our own way. But I want to thank you so much for watching. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so. And I look forward to seeing you in the next project. The first thing you're going to do is take the lip pattern and copy it. Well, trace it onto your fabric. After you trace it onto your fabric, you are going to sew around the lines very neatly as you can. When you finish sewing around the outline, you're going to turn it over. You're going to put a slit on the back side. Now, I've tried several different methods where you sometimes leave a little space and you ladder stitch. It distorts the shape of the lip. So you want to put a slit in the back, a really small slit. You're going to flip the lip inside out, and then you're going to stuff it with fiber fill. You should stuff it to the size that you want for your doll. Another suggestion is that you should make your doll lips in various sizes. So like I said before, you should make 3 or 4 pair, and you should use your copier, make some smaller, make some larger, medium, change the lip size, because making lips can be very tedious. And when you're placing the lips on your doll, you will know when you put them next to her face, you'll know which ones are the best ones for her. I have sped this video up at least 16 times, but I am actually sewing the lips very slowly. And like I've said in previous videos, the energy that you have when you're sewing is going to affect the outcome of the project. So when you're making lips, sew neatly, take your time, trace the line perfectly, and you'll get the lips that you want. I am now cutting the lip pattern out. When you cut the lips out, try not to cut too close to the thread, because it's so easy to nick it, and once you cut the thread, you would no longer be able to use those lips. I am now cutting an opening in the back of the lips, so be very careful and try to cut the opening as close as you can to the middle of the lips. If you cut the opening like maybe to the top or to the bottom, it will distort the shape of the lips. And like I said before, please do not sew the opening in the back of the lips. I repeat, do not sew it, because if you sew that opening, it will change the shape of your lips, and I typically don't like the way it looks. So it's better to just leave it open. As you can see, I am using a pair of scissors to stuff the lips. I do not suggest this. Use a wooden dowel or a knitting, I think a knitting or crochet stick, something with rounded edges. Please do not use anything with a sharp edge for your lips. It is a very delicate process. I've been doing it for a while, and I don't want to, give you bad habits. But I kind of know my own strength, and they were right there. But do not do this. Draw the middle line of the lips in whatever shape that you would like, and you're going to sew across that line. Try to use a pen or pencil the same color as your lips. You want to take small stitches, taking the needle up and down, tracing the line that you drew across the lips. Oh my God, aren't these beautiful? I just love these lips. Position the lips on your doll, and once you find the position that you like, I would get a peel and stick double-sided tape to hold it in place while you ladder stitch the lips onto your doll's face. Ladder stitching your doll's lips onto her face can be very tricky. A lot of times my doll's lips are very crooked because it shifts while I'm sewing. So even when I use the peel and stick fabric, it's actually the same stuff that I use to make the eyebrows to hold the lips in place. Even with that, it's still very difficult to hold the lips in place. And do not sew the slit in the back of the doll's lips, because if you sew that slit, it's going to change the shape of the doll's lips. But one thing I can tell you is that even if you make a mistake and you sew her lips on crooked, you can easily just rip out the thread and try over and over again until you get it right. Another thing you can do to make sure that the lips are even on her face is you can tack down the corner of her lips before you begin sewing. So I would sometimes tack down the corner of her lips and also the very top, because I like the top of her lip to line up with with her nose, like the very, like right in the middle of her nose. So if you tack those 3 spots down, you're more likely to get the lips in place. To be honest with you, I kind of like her lips prior to painting them, but I like them painted as well. I don't know, so you don't have to paint your lips because there's still something appealing about them plain. In the comment box below, let me know if you think her lips look better with or without the paint. I love making dolls, but I realize that I don't want to make dolls for other people because people do not appreciate the time that it takes to make a doll. Like even the time for making her lips or her hair or her painting her eyes. And I feel like when I make a doll, I don't want to start skipping steps so that I can feel that my time is worth the money that I'm going to be offered. So I want to share my gift with you because I want to, first of all, I love making dolls, but thoroughly enjoy doll making without worrying about how much money I'm going to make or if people are going to like it. I want to have fun and enjoy this process and always do my best, even if I am the only person in the world who loves her. I am using a variety of beige and pink and brown paint, acrylic paint, to come up with a color that I wanted for the inside of Maggie's lips. And I just kept mixing and mixing until I found a color that made me happy. But then I went back later, I still wasn't that happy, and I added the blush to it, and the blush gave it that deeper tone that I was looking for. When you begin to paint the inside of Maggie's lips, try to always start out painting from the middle of the lips and work your way out, because sometimes you'll have too much paint on your brush, and if you start from the outside, you will destroy the shape of the lip. So if you start on the inside, by the time you get to the outside, you won't have as much paint on your brush. When your doll lips dry, the color of her lips will change into another color. So you won't really have a good idea of what color it is until the next day. And if you don't like the color, then go ahead and reapply until you get a color that you're happy with. If you make a mistake and you don't like the lips at all, again, you can just literally cut the thread and take them off and start over. Thank you so much for joining me. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to create the cornrows and the braids for Maggie's hair. And in the next video, we're going to go over how to make her overalls. And in the last video in this series, we're going to go over how to make her ladybug shoes. Thank you so much.